So Quant Overledger will function as an operating system to connect existing permission and permissionless blockchains and networks together. The reason why I got that is because that's what the Overledger's role is in trying to make interoperability between Corda, Hyperledger, and Ripple, and between those platforms possible. Even if you want that to even take place, you need the Overledger. There's no way around it. The Overledger is working with the Digital Pound project and also the Digital Euro project. So why wouldn't you go with the Overledger or Quant, as a platform that you can use to unlock value to your blockchain, to your existing legacy system, whatever is going on. You need to be able to connect legacy systems and DLTs for this to be possible. I mean, this is agnostic, so you can use it with anything. It is future proof because Quant Overledger will be able to work with future blockchains as well. It's kind of like the Windows operating system. That's why they call it as an operating system, because it will be able to work with future applications through upgrades and stuff like that. It will be future proof. And then R3, Corda, and Hyperledger Fabric was mentioned in the Saudi Central Bank of the UAE research paper as useful platforms for CBDCs. That was Project Aver. Many other central banks have mentioned Ripple, Corda, and the Hyperledger as well. And in the same day that I posted this community post, the United Arab Emirates Central Bank aims to introduce digital currency as part of its 2023 to 2026 strategy. So it looks like everything is pointing to 2021 to 2023 as a starting ground, for this stuff to actually start kicking off and going live. And 2025 is just at the latest. That's like the latest date when this should go live. That's like, okay, if it doesn't happen in 2021, 2022, or 2024, it's going to definitely be in 2025. They can't wait any longer, guys. This technology is too useful. It's going to save them way too much money for them to just wait another decade. So the argument would be like, well, they can take forever. They can milk the old system and make as much money from that, and they could put it off for another year or 10 years, 20 years, and it wouldn't make much difference. This is just stuff that's way too ahead of its time. None of this is going to come true. You already have a working financial system. Why do you need to change it? No, that financial system that we're dealing with right now, it's too expensive. Like it just costs too much, guys, to do transactions, especially when you're dealing with cross-border remittances. Not only that, but there's a high failure rate. I mean, 5% to 6% of the transactions that happen with this current system fail. So you're going to have 0% failure rate when it comes to transactions that take place with distributed ledger technology and blockchain that's consensus based, and also that deals with finality, right? It's gonna 100% settle and happen instantaneously. Why? Because you're gonna have all these technologies work together and interoperate in a way that they help each other. They make each other more valuable. They're not gonna compete with each other. That would be nonsense, because if they compete with each other, it just creates like tribalism. I feel like they'd be like, oh, I like Bitcoin, or I like Google more than Microsoft, or I like Apple more than Microsoft. You know what I mean? But this is way deeper than that. This is much larger than Google versus Microsoft, or Microsoft versus Apple. This is way higher than that. This is changing the whole financial system and its infrastructure that has been around for decades. It's going to change all that, and this can't happen overnight. It's going to take time. That's why you got to have patience, but value will be unlocked, and it's going to be trillions upon trillions of dollars that are going to be flowing through this new financial system, and possibly even quadrillions due to hyperinflation and banking the unbanked. There's going to be a lot more new players, because the playing field is going to be leveled to a point where anyone from even a developing third world country can compete. Their business, their small or medium business, will be able to compete with larger institutions thanks to this level playing field, and the fact that transactions won't cost an arm and a leg. It will be easier to send transactions. It will be quicker. It'll make everything seamless thanks to this interoperability that's going to be available. That's going to be possible thanks to the Overledger and Ripple and Corda, Hyperledger, all coming together and to making this possible. The European Central Bank said that Quant is the only solution that can connect legacy systems with DLTs. That's connecting legacy systems with DLTs, such as the RippleNet, for example. You need the Overledger. You need Quant for that. If you want banks to connect to the RippleNet, or to ODL, you need the Overledger. If you don't have the Overledger, they need validators. I'm going to show you why that's a thing. So if you go down here, it says, okay, the Overledger provides a standard API for working with Ripple. So again, customers do not need their own Ripple node. So this eliminates the cost and save them valuable time and energy, because they won't need to learn low-level interfaces, formats, and cryptography that are usually involved in developing applications for Ripple. So it's basically a key to connect to them directly. It's how companies and banks will be able to connect to Ripple without the need for nodes, which I said it's going to cost a lot of money or whatever it takes to set one of those up. This is going to provide, guys, seamless integration. That's called interoperability, in my opinion. And you look at the partners of Quant, right? See, you got Oracle, Amazon, Hyperledger. Those are self-explanatory. We know what Hyperledger is. So much research that we have been doing. We know the partners that are and members of Hyperledger. So that in itself should make you bullish that Quant has made it onto that list. And then Quant fully endorses the Chancellor's proposal in the UK for pushing the boundaries of digital finance in that country. The potential for CBDCs to revolutionize the UK's financial infrastructure is enormous, and DLT implementation will play a crucial role in making a digital currency a reality. So, for that DLT implementation to even take place, you need interoperability. It said right here that the HM Treasury plan to engage industry together with the Bank of England, which is a central bank in the UK, in the use of CBDCs and DLTs will accelerate progress significantly, and we're pleased that our Overledger technology will add real value by providing true universal DLT interoperability for an interoperable CBDC fit for the market's needs. Because remember, based on my community post, which I wrote out, which is common information that you can find on the internet, but I said that the IMF, World Bank, and BIS has come out and said that CBDCs need to be interoperable. Well, this further confirms that needs to be equality in the DLT technology is interoperability for it to be used. Okay, so XRP through ODL is going to be utilized to address the $10 trillion problem that is a cross-border payments market, and I think it's much larger than that. And then, this is just the beginning. I think that they're going for all the money. It's like 1.2 quadrillion that covers everything when it comes to the debt markets, stock, bonds, everything. Tokenized real estate is going to be a thing. So yeah, this is going for all the money. This is why I think that 10 trillions, 1 trillion, 5 trillion is nothing. It's just a drop in the bucket when it comes to how much money is going to flow through distributed ledger technology. And ODL is basically a service that utilizes XRP. It's patented. Only Ripple can use this. No one else can copy this. Customers of ODL include Azimo, Santander, American Express, SBI Remit, on and on. Okay, if those banks, which obviously have to have customers or people going to them for loans, for whatever, for them to custody their assets or money, anyone that wants a loan to happen instantaneously, they just go to a ODL partner company like Azimo or Santander, and they're like, hey, Santander, can you issue me a loan so I can buy a house or so I can expand my business? Give me a $1 million loan. I want to buy a mansion or whatever. Well, if you want that to happen in seconds, if you want the money to go from the bank to the customer instantaneously, you need to utilize ODL. That's why Ripple is launching that line of credit. It's a service built on top of the RippleNet that allows ODL customers like Santander, SBI Remit to source capital from Ripple, and that capital can be used for anything, for loans, whatever. And transactions over RippleNet are KYC AML compliant. RippleNet is built with ISO 222 standardization. It's a standardized thing. This is legit. The $10 trillion problem is a drop in the bucket, because all the money is quadrillions when you factor in hyperinflation and this level playing field that will happen thanks to ODL, because ODL is going to allow companies to basically be able to compete with larger ones that have basically a lot more money in their hands and to play with. ODL is going to allow them to basically source that liquidity much faster. It's more secure, and it's going to change everything. One more thing, okay? This is the connection between Quant and Ripple. So you got the Digital Pound Foundation Limited, which is a company. It's in London right now. But members of that company are Gilbert Verdian, who is the CEO of Quant. You have Jeremy James O'Brien from Barclays. You have Mr. Richard John Ells from Electronium. And then on top of that, you have Suzanne Friedman from Ripple. So that's the connection between Quant and Ripple and Barclays. So I'm very bullish because Quant is supposed to take over Europe. They started to work with the ECB, which is the European Central Bank, in developing the digital euro or CBDC over there, and which is basically one of the first CBDCs that's supposed to go live. So you got the EBA clearing and target services, which is Europe's version of FedWire, the clearinghouse and FedNow service that the US has going on. But Europe is supposed to go live with their service in 2021. So this is supposed to happen this year in November. And then you have the UK, which is a little later in 2022, which is supposed to do with the digital pound. And we got information that there's a connection between Ripple and Quant and Barclays in the development of that digital pound or the UK CBDC. So this is why I'm very bullish on the underlying assets, which is Quant and the XRP token, which XRP is utilized in ODL, which is patented and all that, which I just mentioned. Quant Overledger API is supposed to make this integration between central banks and the Interledger W3 standard with RippleNet possible. And this is where you get that liquidity provisioning that will happen thanks to ODL, and the trustless asset swaps are going to begin to take place soon. Once all this goes live, guys, it's going to be a bunch of money securities and commodities, bonds, the stock market, the debt market, tokenized real estate. Everything's going to be tokenized on the ledger. So can you imagine all that money flowing through XRP and Quant and XDC and also Algorand, IOTA? All the money, guys, is going to flow through these ISO chosen tokens. So yeah, I hope you all are as bullish as I am. This was not financial advice. It was just my own personal opinion. So do your own due diligence anyway and research. You should be doing that. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll get to it as soon as possible. Subscribe to my channel if you're new. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video and share it around. I'll see you all in the next video. I'm out.